So Orion came out. That was the thing. That was the flagship project when we last talked. That came out with great reception. We hired some promo companies, and she got a lot of attention from some managerial companies and other things that we have not settled with or like just settled into. Albeit they've all been great, but we're just still in that independent artist trying to maintain control of a project without having to give so much stake away. Initially, at least, we'll see how that goes. So Orion came out, then Bittersweet. Oh, Orion, then the Orion remix, which is actually the song that I sent you. So we'll be listening to that later.
Yeah.
And then Bittersweet and the Bittersweet remix and a couple songs in between that. Oh, the first thing that came out was that instrumental track, Ada Karina. And that did really well. Ambient music does so well. And
really?
Because you can put it on a playlist. Like it gets on people's like ambient playlists. And if you think about what an ambient playlist is, it's just background music. Like so that people focus or like relax or listen to it with more purpose as opposed to just something in the background. But those things just loop over and over, those playlists and all that kind of stuff, because it's so ambient music is so flowing that it's sometimes you don't necessarily pick out certain things that feel like a song, and so you can just loop a playlist over and over and almost not notice. And so
it gets like a ton of streams,
right? Tons of streams, man. It's crazy. And so, kind of leaning into that market is a good idea for her as well. And she's working on some more instrumental things as well to put out. But people really dig that stuff. But then we've had in a few big releases, a few remixes that I've done, and then the latest bigger video thing that she did was this Celtic Creed song. I don't know if you saw that on the interwebs and stuff. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, great,
dude. That was by and large that one has done the best out of everything that she's released. With a little bit of promo behind it and like ads and Google stuff. Not a lot though. It's actually kind of crazy, and it took us the least amount of effort to do. The least amount of effort from beginning to end for her developing the song, developing the idea for the song, putting the song together, producing the song, me and her mixing the song. I can't remember if I mastered, if we sent it off for mastering. We've done so much of both. I don't remember what we did for that one. And then going out and shooting the video in the woods and hiring some people to do some horse work with her, because there's that really nice kind of champagne-colored horse in there. Gunsmoke was its name. So,
nice.
Fucking cool name. And getting all that done, and from top to bottom, from no song to having the video finished and released, like within 3 weeks to a month, I believe.
Wow, that's amazing.
Weird. And it did the absolute best. And I'm not even talking about like working day and night for a month. It was just like the song flowed naturally to her. The mix was easy to do. It sounded really good. The schedules worked out that we were able to go shoot things with relative ease and had enough content. And shooting everything in slow-mo helps, by the way, because you can really string things out.
Nice.
And just getting it all done really quick and spending the least amount of effort, and it has done the best. And it's just so strange, man. Like you can pour your heart and soul into things that people will really enjoy, but they don't kind of hit that oil on the ground that sends them forward. And then the things that you're like, yeah, well, we just did it real quick, and it's not that we don't care about it, but it's good. It's fucking whatever. Put it out, and then boom, and then it goes, and it's just like, it's so weird, man. I cannot pin down the rhyme or reason. It's almost like, don't spend a lot of time on stuff.
Yeah,
and it'll do better.
I think that's the way to go, man. I think artists so often just belabor every little thing.
Yeah,
and they're too precious with their art, and you got to finish stuff.
Yeah, I've heard you discuss this very topic quite a few times in some of your past.
Yeah,
episodes,
I talk about this a lot, and clearly we're both guilty of spending too much time on some stuff. But man, if you could let go of the perfectionism, which is something I struggle with, I think life is better. I don't know how to let go of it. I don't know if you have any tips.
It's man, I think it comes from just honestly, in my own experience. I don't know if you can attest to this. Just like insecurity, just like, oh well, what will people think I'm good at this? Will I have a career after I release this. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just purely insecurity on one's own. It's and someone like yourself and someone like myself, I consider to be very good at their jobs, don't necessarily need to have that insecurity, but it's just intrinsic in just our personality types. And I find in a lot of creatives who suffer from some level of insecurity. And I don't want to call it depression by any means. I don't think it's that outrightly, but it does have that kind of downtrodden effect on one's own confidence,
sense of self-worth.
Yeah,
kinda.
Right. It's just, and I don't know where it comes from. I think it's just built. If you are a creative, you will more than likely have some semblance of that in your personality. It's just packaged with the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people definitely don't have it. I'm not saying everybody, but I feel like a vast majority of people.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's always like weird for me to meet, and I've obviously spoken to a lot of people that do what we do. It's almost like weird to see somebody who doesn't have it. You know, it's like how are you so confident?
Yeah.
You know,
and honestly, those are the people that probably do really well, in the industry. So it's like, got to find that balance. You know,
chicken or the egg, right? Like I don't know.
What's that?
Maybe at some point we do well enough that we have confidence. Well, listen,
and I do, and I'm sure you do too. But it's not all the time, and it's not for everything, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel that we are both, and many other people in the industry are due their own level of confidence because of their skill set. It's just it's your brain. Your brain gets in the way.
It's like those memes, or it's like you're doing great, or like, and then one person says like your snare sounds like shit, and like
right.
and then you're
You've
like launched
been
into
on audio engineer shit posting a lot recently.
Audio hurts.
Yeah.
I love this. I can't get enough of it. My wife.
Shit posting sites are fucking God. I love them.
I don't know. There's nothing funnier than like audio memes for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There should be funnier things.
Yeah.
It's a very because our job is so. We only do this because we're so emotionally invested in music and audio and the way it sounds, and so it's like our whole person. It's hard to take our sense of self-worth out of the job, and that's something I we could go deep, like even like in Corona, let's say when work wasn't coming in, my sense of self-worth really plummeted, and I realized how much of my and turns out it was Corona, because like Corona ended and I can't keep up with the amount of work I have right now. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But it's like, how do I take my sense of self-worth out of that thing that is my job? And it's like, I mean, obviously I love to do it, but like, how do I remove that connection? Cause it's too much, Yeah.
Stay more objective for your own sanity. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to see the forest for the trees sometimes. Yeah. Work dying off in the middle of a pandemic seems pretty fucking normal, right? But even
it was so normal,
right? But like even for like people that overthink, which I'm definitely guilty of, and it sounds like you might be as well. It can seem like a more personal thing when really it's got fucking nothing to do with us, and it's just over internalizing, And
do you do anything to kind of like get you out of those headspaces? Like, do you have any practices?
Man. They ebb and flow. Sometimes if a particular day was bothering me, and that's a weird way to put it, but I think people get what I mean.
I get what you mean.
I just I don't know, just wouldn't do shit. I'd just kind of hang out and do other things, and do stuff around the house, clean shit, fix things, whatever. And then just get back in, like the next day, it's like, yeah, all right, I'm feeling better. Let's get to it. You know what I mean? It's just, burnout may be a big deal with it too, and I'm sure you discussed this ad nauseum with a lot of your guests. But work burnout in this industry is it prevalent? So and that's I think also a big part of it, and having that break time and health time and other various things to keep your brain healthy and happy. And man, I'm
finding it hard. I'm finding it hard to take those breaks that maybe I need, because I'm just so pressed to kind of get things back on track with because it's my business and people want to work. It's like, great, okay, I got to work, but I'm also burnt out. I'm still burnt out from this pandemic. I'm still burnt out from, the lockdowns and not having daycare, and it's like, it's weird. It's like it's a weird time we're living in, I feel like.
Yep.
taking breaks. Got to do more of that.
It's a very strange time, and everything's coming back online, and the world's changed, man. That was a big change for the world. The great pause, as I heard it called, which I kind of honestly like. I was going to a therapist for a while to deal with just anxiety bullshit that I suffer from time to time, and I weirdly stopped it in the middle of the pandemic because like I don't know, everything slowed down. I didn't feel the need to constantly be doing something or whatever. Everything slowed. So like you felt the whole energy of the world kind of drop. And it was like, I'm good. I'm good right now. And he was like,
that's great.
My therapist was like, you know what? You are not the only person to come to me and say that. It was a very interesting phenomenon that I think, that happened. But
I feel like there's going to be a lot more people going to therapy now than there was during the pandemic.
It might be, yeah.
Like I'm thinking about it because of anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about, like maybe it's time for me to get some anxiety pills, just for a little bit,
Yeah,
But,
yeah, dude.
I don't know. It's like the transition is bizarre.
And medications and stuff exist for a reason. You just got to be careful with them, and that's been my life lesson.
Yeah,
and
gotta be careful.
I mean, things happen. You just got to deal with it. There's nothing wrong with people going and doing some mental health stuff and checking on themselves and checking on their friends, and that's all really important shit. And I can't tell you how many commercials I hear on podcasts I listen to about that exact fucking thing. About like Teledoc.com. There's a plug. They're not paying.
BetterHelp,
yeah, all that stuff. I think it's great. I think people should absolutely reach out and do what they need to do for their own sake of mental health. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people and other things in your life. You've got to set and sanctify your own space in your own head to be well so that you can help other people be well. And I think it's just a really important part of this industry, any industry, particularly creatives though. And it's, man, it's important shit.
Yeah. Wow. Well said, man. Everybody listening, this is the Secret Sonics check-in.
Yeah,
hope you're doing well.
It's like, how much audio have we talked about? It hasn't really been that much audio.
Yeah.
We've been talking more about like
that's
health.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Well, we talked a lot about audio in the previous episode, but
that's true.
But yeah, I guess both of us are admitting that we've, mental health is maybe currently a struggle for me.
Yeah.
Not just in an anxiety way, but
totally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's an interesting time.
It really is
an interesting time.
Something I found that helps is, CBD stuff. I've been relying on that stuff heavily. Wonderful. As opposed to pharmaceuticals like, your Xanaxes, your lorazepams, your, Valiums and all those various more, narcotic-based things. Well, I guess those aren't technically narcotics, but yeah, man, this stuff's been working great. So there you go. There's a possible solve.
That might be a possible solve. Yeah. Let's dig into the sauce section. Let's check out the Iveen track, and we can kind of talk about what went into that because it sounds super dope, and we can maybe talk about some of those specific sounds that you did on it.
Let's do it, man. I love it.
Awesome. All right, so I'm just going to pull it up, play it in real time for about 90 seconds, and then
okay, cool.
We'll talk about it.